want to try these cookies? Unpopular opinion, the chewy cookies are not good. They're not it. I feel like that the only reason why I say that's unpopular, because I really don't think that's unpopular, is because I now know 2 people who like chewy cookies, like the chewy Chips Ahoy's. I'm judging. And then I got these. My friend put me on them, but she put me on, oh my gosh, she put me on the pomegranate, and I wanted to try the blueberries because blueberry helps with your memory, and I'm going to be working on some music today, so I would eat blueberries while studying for exams and stuff. But the pomegranate ones are really good. These are good too. The reason why I hopped on here today isn't because to try a cookie, but I've been feeling very discouraged. I just wanted to share how I'm feeling with everybody. Like I'm not doing enough, but I am. I know that what I'm doing is gonna get me where I want to be. It's just gonna take time, and it's like I don't know why I need to prove so much to someone. It's like I'm putting my work on the internet for somebody. A good example is I used to wake up every day at 6 a.m. in practice, and then I would go to bed at like 10. And then some days I'd wake up at like 10 a.m. and then stay up like all night. And then eventually I was like, sometimes I would wake up at 4 a.m. and then take a nap and then wake back up and then go to bed at like 8. But for some reason, I stopped doing that. And I don't know what made me stop doing that. But the fact that I did that at some point and now I don't do that anymore, every day that I don't wake up and I wake up late and I'm doing something, I'll do everything that I normally do. I still work. I work on my music. I still do everything in my power to just give my day my all. But I'll look at the day and just go like, well, you didn't wake up at 6 o'clock like you used to. And I'll just give myself shit. And I'll kind of look at myself in the mirror and just think I'm like the shittiest person because I didn't wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. I wake up at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I hate that. And I'm still working, but what I used to do when I was on that grind of waking up at 6 o'clock and going at it, was I was doing a social media cleanse. And so I was up at 6 o'clock. I didn't have any social media. I had no one to listen to. It was literally the best thing. And honestly, guys, I'm not a social media person. People kind of like laugh when I say that because it sounds like crazy, but I don't really care for social media. I never had, because everyone's posting their own thing, which is great, but you can tell when people are posting things for others. And I'll admit that there's times where I have also. And but I've always been like a camera person, and I've always wanted a flip phone, but I've just never, I don't think it's kind of crazy to pay for a flip phone and a regular phone. Yeah, so I deleted all my social media, and so that's what had me waking up early and then going to bed on time. I'm not doom scrolling on social media, and I finally picked up something that I loved for years and got into it again. And I've always wrote music. I've always wrote music since I was a kid, but I finally put it out there, and I mean, I'm a little like nervous and like shaken up about it, but I live for it. And while I was on that social media cleanse, I think I did it for about 2 months. I deleted TikTok for about 6 months. And then I deleted Instagram and Snapchat and all that for like 2 months. And while I was on that cleanse, honestly, I felt so like carefree. But I downloaded it back again because I was like, well, if this is going to be my career, because honestly, I see nothing else for me but this career. And I've lost so many friends with the mindset that I have now, and I do not care. And that sounds so selfish, but I don't care, because this is who I am, and it's who I've always been. Making music is who I've been since the 3rd grade. And if you don't like that, then you don't like who I am, because it makes me happy, and that's who I am. So I'm going to make a small goal and a big goal to when I feel discouraged, I'm going to look back at the small goal. And then when I feel good about myself, I'll remember the big goal. So the small goal is I'm going to have 2 small goals. To have a song out on Spotify. And the second one is to aim to be able to sell one of my songs to like anybody, an artist, a movie, anyone. And then the big goal would be to have an album out, to go on tour, any of that entire field. So the small goal would be like the career of songwriting, and the big goal is being in my own field of doing my own music and being signed and all of that. But like I said, I have haters, and I have friends who have lost, but I don't care. It's like, it's almost like, it's just odd to me, because you see what I do. You see I do it more than once. It's all I talk about. And you say something negative about it, and I never take it personal. I don't think I've ever taken anything personal, to be honest with you. I have really thick skin, and so I've been drugged through the mud. It doesn't look like it, but I have. So I just don't take what anybody says personally. Not that I really let anyone walk over me. That's why I don't really think if I got like a ton of hate, it'd really bother me. I really don't. Like if one of my songs blew up and I got like 1,000 haters, like let's say like my song blew up, I liked it, and no one else liked it, and it blew up, and like a negative way and it became a meme and I got like hated on and I got like what is it called? Like people were DMing me like negative stuff. I think I would probably just ignore it, which is obviously the only thing to do, but like, you know, I would just talk to my mom about it. Cause like that entire career is just lonely. And that's how I am now, so it's nothing's gonna change. I'm in and out of the studio constantly already. I'm working my ass off and it doesn't feel like I am. And it drives me crazy because I don't feel like I'm working my ass off. Every time I go to bed, I'm like, you could have did so much more today and you didn't. And I get so mad at myself. That drives me crazy. I used to never give myself a break. When I had that whole social media detox, I never gave myself a break. I just worked day and night, and then whenever I had actual work, I would work, and then I'd go home, and then I'd go to sleep, and I'd wake up the next morning, and I'd work again, and then I would work up until I had to clock in for my actual job, and then it would just be the steady cycle of doing what I needed to do, and I would tell my mom, like, this is my job. And then I have my second job where I go clock in. And so when my mom would be like, what'd you do today? And I was like, work. And I never gave myself a break. My friends would ask me to hang out, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. And it's because I was so dedicated, and I still am, but I give myself one day to like have free will to do something for like a mental break. And when I get home from that day, I'm like, that was nice, but you could have done something else. And I hate the fact that I do that. And I wish I could change that. But I feel like you need that break. But back to what I was saying with the whole thing with social media. The reason why I re-downloaded social media was because once I started posting my music, I had the mindset of like, well, I can't just post my music and expect it to blow up overnight. And either way, I don't think it was going to. So I was like, eventually I'm gonna have to market this some way, somehow. So I finally gained the courage to post on my Instagram, and I did, and my friends liked it, which was good. I showed my friends at work, and then I was like, but before I posted it on my Instagram, I showed my friends at work, and then I posted on my Instagram, and they liked it, and then that was really, like, I liked that they liked it. That was healed something in me. Then ever since I posted on my Instagram, I kind of had, like, I had to keep up with that. And I had to keep up with my YouTube channel. And the studio. And the whole thing was just draining me. I don't know. And then I was like, I feel like if they think, because consistency is key, is what everyone's feeding me. But, which is true, consistency is key. But I feel like whenever I would record, I would try and post like a song. And then I would do like a reel. I would do a reel, and then I would try and put it on my YouTube channel, but it's just I didn't like the way it was formatted, and I was like, this looks kind of funny, and so I didn't do it. And I was like recording it twice. I don't like how it's like two different videos, and so I just was trying to figure it out, and then I just got frustrated, and then I moved on to like a different song, and then I was like, okay, so one Instagram, my Instagram's gonna have one song that the YouTube channel's not. And I was like, and that's okay. I was glad that I opened up on the internet. I'm really glad that I broke through that barrier. But I feel the need to constantly post, which I feel is so unhealthy. And now I'm in the studio making my music like professionally, and I'm focusing on these certain songs instead of these songs that would get posted on YouTube, because I have like probably like 200 songs. I have these songs that we're working on in the studio, and then these songs that I would put on YouTube. So working on these ones that I need to prioritize when I go to my next session to be ready for, while I'm working on these ones, is a lot for me, because I'm just starting out. And then I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I have a lot of time, but at the same time I feel like I don't, because I want it so badly. Lately I've been waking up with the most draining feeling, not of like the social media thing or any of that, just like I have like, I'm so discouraged, and it's pissing me off because I know I can do it. It's all I do. It's all I do. When I'm not on my phone, or even when I am on my phone, when I'm driving in the car, I'll listen to a song and I'll be like, I could have wrote that. I could have wrote that easily. Or I'll listen to the backtrack and be like, that's all the instrumental was? Like, dang, I could have done that. And it's not because I'm like bashing the artist, like that's such a simple song. The song's complex, but it's just that like, that's it. Like, it's so simple. So that's what makes me think that I can do it, because it's just like the simplest stuff. And the music that I put out, sometimes I just think I don't give myself enough credit. I really don't. And to be honest with you, like, instruments aren't my strongest suit, but I fake it till I make it. And I'm still working on it. But that's why I said I really want to like sell music. That's why I really want to be an artist, but selling music I feel like would be the best for a easier goal. But like I said, it's all I do. I went to the studio for the first time and met my producer, and he was like, so like how many songs do you have? Like 2 or 3? And I said like a lot. And the amount of people that asked me that, and there's a lot of people who asked me that, like my friends, people that I was in the band with, and my producer, they all were like shocked when I said I had like so many. Like, I don't even count. I didn't even realize I had that many until my friend was going through my phone consensually, and she saw how many notes I had open in my phone, like my iCloud. She saw how many notes I had, and I had like 1,000 in my iCloud, and they were all songs. And she was like, oh, I'll just go through the ones that aren't songs. And I was like, they're all songs. Like, maybe like 1 or 2 is a grocery list, and then the rest are songs. And then I have like 8 journals, and then I have like a illustrated songbook where I have like the finalized songs, and I have illustrated pictures right beside them to visualize. I have a book for video, like music video ideas for each song. I have a notebook that has nothing to do with songs, but I write down daily of something I'm grateful for that day. Even if it's like I have the worst day ever, I'm gonna find something that I'm grateful for. Yesterday, I had like the worst day, and I wrote that I was grateful for I like really had to hunt down what I was grateful for, and I'm pretty sure I wrote down that like I like had this certain phone call that I was grateful for. Another thing was that I was grateful that I had the opportunity to go to work, because not everyone has the opportunity to go to work. I could have wrote that one down too. I recommend you guys do that. Write down everything that you're grateful for. Even just one thing. Sometimes I write a few things, but sometimes it's hard for me to write something down that I'm grateful for, and sometimes it's really easy. But that's why when I'm in a stump like this, that notebook really helps me. I just really hope that in the future, like future me is looking back at this video and just applauding how far I've came. I just really hope that happens, because I mean, present me now is looking at past me and like crying all the time because I'm proud. I have like a picture of me set up beside my mirror, and every time I look at it, I'm like, she would be shitting her pants if I told her what I'm doing right now. She'd be running around in a circle. She'd be crapping her pants. She'd be running around in a circle and probably like do a handstand. She could have never done a handstand. She'd pull out her like little radio that she had and like play her CD of Hannah Montana. And I hope and pray every day, and I seriously hope that in like 2 years I write envelopes, I write like letters to myself for my future self, and I have them open, one for like 2 years in time and one for 5 years in time. And I'm pretty sure that's all that I wrote, because I didn't want to overdo it. But I hope so much, because I'm not gonna stop, that I will look back at this video and be proud at what I've became. But as long as I'm somewhere that I want to be, then that's all that matters. So, and now I'm about to eat another cookie.